Good evening. Thank you very much for waiting. Apologize for the delay this evening. I was getting briefed on the situation, both with the shooting at the synagogue in Michigan and also the situation at Old Dominion University. Let me touch on those events before I begin my remarks this evening. And again, thank you for waiting. Uh, I want to start out by saying um, violence has no place in religion, especially here in the United States. Everyone has the right to exercise their belief in the church of their belief, mosque of their belief, or whatever that is. They have the right to do that. Violence has no place in that, and I strongly condemn today's action. And I promise the governor of Michigan our full support and full cooperation, and we'll send whatever resources that's needed to Michigan. I spoke to Governor Whitmer a little bit earlier today and pledged that support to her. Old Dominion is the same way. We've got to tap down this violence. This is way too much going on. And we got to put an end to this. You know, over the past 4 years, I've come on camera so many times to talk about thoughts and prayers. And tonight, it's the same thing. My thoughts and prayers are with the victims and their families this evening. But it's just got to stop, folks. We're better than that. We're the United States of America, and we're so much better than that. So, again, my thoughts and prayers go to each and every one affected by today's horrific acts, both at Old Dominion and in Michigan. Today, though, I do want to talk about, we're continuing our discussions on infrastructure, and today we're talking about grid resilience. First of all, I want to start off by thanking Jamal Carter, part of my staff. Jamal for his outstanding leadership on this portfolio. Jamal, your work tying together grid reliance, suburban equality, and real job creation has kept us moving forward with clarity and focus. It's exactly the kind of steady, results-driven approach we need, and I thank you very much for that. You know, we're building on yesterday's broadband conversation and now turning to the foundation that powers it all, our electric grid and broader infrastructure reliance in suburban communities across America. This is a national challenge. Suburbs are home to most American families. I live in one in Texas. Entering neighborhoods near cities, fast-growing communities in every region. When the grid falls, storms, heat waves, aging lines, or cyber threats, it disrupts lives everywhere. Homes go dark, hospitals run on backup power, schools lose power, small businesses close, telehealth calls drop, and families face real hardship. Our focus today is clear: to make the grid tough enough to match the growth and strong enough to protect opportunity. We'll be talking about grid hardening today, upgrading substations, adding redundancies, burying our vulnerability lines, and modernizing transmission so failures don't cascade. Suburban areas, high demand, fast growing. We need targeted investments in those areas to stay ahead. Cyber defenses. We've seen state actors probe our energy systems. We respond proportionally, defensive hardening, better information sharing with utilities, private sector partnerships, and keeping it measured and effective. A secure grid safeguards healthcare, education, and small business operations nationwide. Equality in suburban communities. These investments must reach overlooked places, lower income suburbs, communities of color within metro areas, fast growing districts where infrastructure lags behind population. No family should lose power or the opportunity because their suburb doesn't fit the right category. And I think we've done a good job in trying to ensure that's happened over the past 4 years. And Jamal's been he's been a key player, and I again appreciate for what he's done. You know, in jobs and economic impact, every upgrade creates work. Union jobs for linemen, apprenticeships for technicians, manufacturing roles for components. We're building American-made, American-worked resilience that supports families where they live. This connects directly to the broadband discussion we talked about earlier this week. power and connectivity are inseparable. Both essential for education equality, healthcare access, small business growth, and community strength. Grid resilience, right, and we unlock everything else. I want to hear from all of you. Jamal and the team. Again, like I said, he did a fantastic job on this. The policy experts, state and local voices on the line. What's working in the grant pipeline? Where are the biggest suburban gaps? How do we make cyber protections and hardening equitable and fast? Your input shapes the next round of allocations and policy. We're not just fixing infrastructure, we're protecting opportunity for millions of families in the place they call home. Let's make sure suburban America is resilient as it is dynamic. Thank you again, Jamal. I think I've said that, 3 times during this presentation, but thank you for all that you've done for this. He's worked a lot of hours on this, and he's made a lot of trips on behalf of this administration, actually down to Texas and other places to look at infrastructure and see where we can put this plan into place. But thank you again for all you've done. So we're going to usher the press out here, and we'll go ahead and get started. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you.